Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Diaries of a Game Coder. In today's episode, I'd like to go over Double Dragon for the Atari Lynx. But before we get started, I'd like to mention something about Netflix's new high score show, which I'm sure many of you have probably seen. In the episode Nintendo, I noticed a few things that were worth mentioning. First off, the history of Nintendo. While they did produce Hanafuda playing cards, as was mentioned in the show, they also ran a taxicab service as one of their businesses, which eventually they sold because labor unions came after them, similar to the dispute that we have today with Uber. So it became too expensive to operate the business and they sold it off. The other thing that Nintendo was involved in was love hotels. These would be hotels that you could rent the rooms by the hour, and with a little bit of financial incentive, you could also have companionship, shall we say. So that was another funky business of Nintendo's. Also, the lawsuit about King Kong and Donkey Kong, I felt they left an important piece out, which was how the lawsuit eventually was won by Nintendo. So while they did mention that Nintendo won the lawsuit, the one deciding factor in the lawsuit was that the fact that King Kong had been so old that Universal Studios no longer had the rights to the name King Kong, as it was simply public domain. Once something lands in public domain, you can't claim any rights to it, and that's it. That's how Nintendo won that lawsuit. And finally, another important fact that I thought the show left out was the history of Mario itself. So when Shigeru Miyamoto designed Mario, he wasn't rich at the time. He had barely any money. And when rent was due, he asked his landlord if he could stretch rent for another month or so and not having to pay, so that he could keep working on Donkey Kong without being evicted. His landlord agreed, and in the landlord's honor, Shigeru Miyamoto decided to take the landlord's name, Mario, and put it in the game as the plumber of Donkey Kong. And that's literally where Mario got his name from. It was Shigeru Miyamoto's landlord. So now that we got that out of the way, here is episode 2, and let's get started. After I got my first job as a programmer, one of our employees came up to me and said, "Hey, this game company in Carlsbad is looking for game programmers." I'm like, "Oh really? That's exactly what I want to do." So he showed me the newspaper ad, and the company that posted the ad was Park Place Productions. Here you can see a picture. This picture is actually in Carlsbad, California, one of the offices on Avenida Encinas. So I decided to apply for a job at Park Place Productions. I didn't hear back for, I don't remember, it was a few weeks or so. And I kept trying to bug them. It's like, "Hey, what's going on? Do you guys have a job or whatnot, blah, blah, blah." So I ended up stopping by there after bugging them over the phone, getting nowhere. Ended up stopping by there and talking to them in person. And they had suggested that while they don't have a video game job right now available, apparently the position got closed. So they referred me over to this little unknown place run by a person named John Smedley, and the place was Knight Technologies. This is the actual pamphlet from 1991 or so, which is when I started working for Knight Technologies. It was a little outfit. Here's the team page with me over here. And so I stopped by the location in Rancho Bernardo, and when I first stumbled into the door, I thought I had landed in somebody's bedroom or something. There were couches, and I saw one arcade, I think, sitting there right by the door, but I was looking around and it certainly didn't feel or look like a business. So I was about to leave that place, and then I was thinking to myself, well, who on earth would have an arcade sitting in their bedroom. So I went back into the office, and lo and behold, there was a person I could actually talk to that I stumbled across at some point. And I don't remember if it was John himself that I first ran into or if he already had his secretary, but whoever I talked to, it eventually led me to talking to John directly. And the interview went something like this. Can you program video games? I'm like, I think so. Are you smart? Yeah. Alright, you got the job. That was literally the interview that got me into working for the place, starting working on Double Dragon. And without further ado, let's dive into the game itself. Alright, before I start playing it, forewarning, I suck at this game. But let's play it for a little bit and then we'll see how it goes. The crazy options: easy, medium, hard, nightmare. I think I'm gonna leave it at easy because, like I said, I'm not so good. It was also a practice mode, but it's like super boring. You just punch, you basically kick and learn the controls. So let's see how bad I suck. There goes the slag. The comments in the code base, her name was actually Slag, no joke. Punch, 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 punch. Throw. No, kick him. Kick you in the nuts. There we go. Oh, one more. One. Yeah. Oh, there we go. He goes ding ding ding. No, maybe not. You see, go, 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 go. Ah, seriously? How do you jump in this game? I don't know how to jump. Button mash. Ah, I jumped somehow. How do I jump? Oh, up and kick, I guess. Okay. Can I do the diagonal jump? Yes. No, 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 no. Come on. Get off me. Get off me. Where's he jumping? He's like, he's bored. He's out of here. Ah, come on. Two against one. No fair. Come on. Come on, come on. Ah, really? Yeah. I feel like Bruce Lee already. Ah, come on. Haha. There we go. Ding, ding, ding. The Mickey Mouse thumb. The Mickey Mouse hand, thumb, or something. Come on, come on. There's a ladder. A ladder. Where does it go? Come on. Get out of here. Come here. Escape. Bye-bye. Oh. Maybe not. There we go. Bye-bye. Is he gone? No, 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 no. That wasn't supposed to happen. Oh, it is baseball bat. Beat up the Brad with a baseball bat. No, 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 come on. Ooh. Oh, this is actually the slag. The first one was like the girl that you had to save, but there the girl in blue, she is the slag. And then the other guy his nickname was Baldy, the guy on the left. Come on. Oh, I feel so bad. Hitting women, really. I guess there was no political correctness back in the day. Come on, Yaj. Let's go. Oh, really? Come on. Maybe I should kick him. Kick him. There we go. Thank you. 4,700. Oh, knife, really? Gotta be like that? Use the knife. Let the knife go. I think it'd do something with the boxes too. Forget. Oh. Sad. Ah! No, no, no. Come here. There we go. Ah, just grabbed something. There we go. That looks like it might work. Ah, there we go. Haha, now we're cooking with Crisco. Ah, no, no, no. Get off of me. Really? Maybe I suck at this game. Please hold that. Haha. Nice. Level complete, wow. And 9,100 bonus points. No idea where I got those from. I mean, where I got those from. Ooh. Music picked up. And I think I can climb the chain link fence. It's quite a moment here. Oh. Goodbye. Come on. Haha. See, I can climb the chain link fence. I remember that. Is the picture still in the center? No, it's okay. Pew pew pew. Pew pew pew. Pew pew. Well, actually, I can look at the screen there. It's a little laggy. Okay, let's look at the screen. Come on. Annoying person, die. This is kind of fun. I don't remember it being this fun. But usually when you develop your own games, the last thing you want to do is play them after you develop them. But this was like 30 years ago or some shit. So, it'll be okay. It's actually kind of fun again. Come on. Can I play this game through in this episode, or will I fail? No, you guys can't wait, huh? This is like the most fun ever. Haha. It's called Double Dragon because I can do double kills. Haha. Here's my double kill. Oh, bye. Oh, nice. You get the knife. So another fun fact. The code base that I used to start, or that was existing when I started coding Double Dragon, the code base was actually Ninja Gaiden, and it was then. Oh no! It was then. I should stop talking. Dang it! I'm gonna die. But it was then we used that as a starting base for Double Dragon. No! Let me kick someone. No, really? There we go. Whip him real good. You must whip it real good. Ooh, come on. Ah, there we go. Pick up the whippy, snapper. There you go. Ah, bye bye. Come on, die. Ooh, level complete. What happens now? Ooh. It's like the forest level. I feel like I'm in Zelda or something. Come on. Where is the princess? Oh yeah, I need to save the princess, just like in Zelda. Maybe I'm Link. I'm Link now. Where do I go? What? Oh, there. Oh, gosh. Best music ever. You guys still here? Or are you bored yet? Come on. We can finish this game together. Oh no. There we go. Get that. No. I want the bat. Ah, come on. Give me the bat. Ah, seriously. No, I want the bat. Thank you. Ah, really? Oh. I don't want the bat. There you go. Get the bat. Pick up the bat and then beat up the brat. Ooh, what's happening now? There's water. There's only water. Bye-bye. Come on. Maybe I can Just wait for. Let them come to me. Come to Patel. There we go. Now we're going to Crisco once again. Ah, really? Oh, how do I jump? Here we go. See, new water was deadly. Probably acid water or something. Instant death if you fall in the water. Our water is so polluted. It's all the acid rain. Instant death. Maybe a little bit of bad people, poison, I don't know. Something. Just made that up. Come on. Bing, bing. Yes, we can do it. Oh, bat versus bat. Come on, bat. I'm gonna kick your ass. Both of your asses. Double kill. Here we go. Come on, biatches. Die! Stay a while, stay forever. Oh, wait, one game. We should come to 64 impossible mission. This is not impossible. I can do this. I want to show you guys the great ending. Oh, where does it go? There? Maybe? Come on, guys. Maybe preemptive strike. There we go. Haha. There we go. There we go. Come on, more. Oh, Baldy. Baldy. Come on. Ah. No, no, no. Why is he? He's all stuck or something. Come on. Here we go. Oop, did I fall in the water? I guess he fell in the water. Bye. Have some of your own acid. Okay. Now I have to make sure I jump properly. There. Come on, come on. Okay, thank you. And hit. Jump and hit. Perfect. Jump and hit. Jump and hit. 2 for 1. Special. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Ah, there we go. Hey, that guy is green. Oh. This is just me. There we go. Did I finish it? Oh! I didn't know there were that many levels in this game. Jeez. Come on. Bye-bye. No. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Come on. Maybe I don't suck that bad, but it is on easy. For old men like me, I played this on easy. Die. Maybe kick for a change. No. Punch. Come on. See that? He died it. Yes. What's up there? Who cares? Just keep going. Come on, gotta finish this. Finish this! Finish him! Finish him! Come on, fighting games. Finish him! I'm going on. Dude. Ooh, come on. My arm's hurting. Old games made your fingers and arms hurt. Actually, I used to teach video game programming and video game design and overview of the video game industry. And no kidding, I had one kid in my class. His right thumb was actually bigger than his left thumb from playing too much Nintendo. No joke. He held up his thumb next to his other one and it was clearly bigger. I called it the Nintendo thumb. Pretty amazing, but true story. Come on. If any of my previous students are watching this, please leave a comment below. Like it, subscribe it, maybe something. It'd be cool to hear from you guys. Where are we going? Ooh, what is this? I have a feeling this door is gonna open. And bad things are gonna happen. So let's lure this guy back here. Just in case. Any surprises. Come on. Oops, I missed the screen. Slight distraction. Screen got moved maybe. Just a little bit. There we go. Okay, now, what's gonna happen? Is the door gonna open? Guess not. Maybe this door? Ooh, red dude. Oh no, come on. Don't let me die now. Get the knife. Critical hit, come on. Really? Maybe like that. There we go. Whew. And. Where's the end? Come on. Unbelievable. How long does this game go? Ah. Come on, come on. Die. Die. Please die. Ah! Spikes! No! Toast! I screwed up. Oh, I can. No, can I continue? No. Okay, that's enough for me. Not getting any younger. Anyway. For any of you that have not seen the Atari Lynx before, it's just like this little handheld, I like Game Boy, with a color screen, as you've seen. For the time being, this came out, what, 1990 or something? It was actually a pretty neat little device. So that was my first foray into the professional development of video games. And as such, let me tell you a little bit about Knight Technologies. So the company again was started by John Smedley. He was very passionate about video games, needless to say. So I kind of felt like that was the place where I belonged to. When I started working there, I was presented with an Amiga 2000 as a development kit for the Atari Lynx, which I had never really used an Amiga before. I putzed around with it a couple of times, but other than that. And so I asked him, it's like, hey, can somebody show me real quick, you know, what I need to do, whatever. And it was kind of like, nope, you're on your own. So I'm like, oh crap. Internet was non-existent, so I couldn't exactly go to the web and look up how stuff worked on the Amiga. I had to scrounge up whatever documentation we had laying around, but for the most part, I was reverse engineering the Atari Lynx by looking at the existing Ninja Gaiden code, which someone else had started to import the graphics for Double Dragon, but it was by no means done. So I kind of had, as a starting point, I had the Ninja Gaiden code with some of the Double Dragon graphics imported, and that's it. And now it's like, here we go. So I learned the whole thing. I learned how to assemble code. The CPU was similar to the Commodore 64. The Commodore 64 had a 6510 chip as a CPU. The Atari Lynx had a 65CO2 as a chip, which was cool because you could swap the X and Y registers, which was nice. Any of the people that know anything about the older CPUs with the 65CO2 or 6502 in general would appreciate being able to use X and Y interchangeably. So that was really cool about the Atari Lynx. Another neat feature about the Atari Lynx was the sprite hardware. It was not your typical sprite hardware, and it provided you a very easy way to scale and rotate sprites and just kind of let the sprite chip do the work. You would chain sprite calls. So you would say draw sprite 1, and then at the end you would put like a little tag and you would say now draw sprite 2, and you could chain as many sprites as you wanted to. Each sprite individually had a sprite center that you defined basically as a handle that you would move the sprite by, and around that sprite center you could rotate and scale the sprites up and down, and the sprite routines would do the magic that was required to make it appear rotated or scaled. So you had a lot of pseudo 3D games on the Atari Lynx that looked very good for the time being, such as Stun Runner. I really liked Stun Runner, and Warbirds I think was another cool game for the Atari Lynx. Okay, going back to the Knight Technologies outfit. Knight Technologies was kind of the forerunner, if you will, for anything that became Sony San Diego. The reason being is the the company Night Technologies eventually got taken over by Park Place Productions. We got rolled into Park Place Productions, which was the other company, the company that I first applied to as a game programmer. So I ended up working for Park Place Productions after all. Park Place Productions, little known fact, they were the very first company to make a John Madden football game. And what happened after the football game became wildly popular was that that Electronic Arts hired the programmer, at least that's how the story goes. They hired the programmer that made John Madden for Park Place Productions, and then eventually started making their own John Madden internally, in-house. So while working for Night Technologies, some of the other fun anecdotes at Night Technologies where I remember specifically one day I came into the office and they had like these whatchamacallit, they had like these storage spaces up above the walkway, like it was hollow, the ceiling was hollow, and there were little crawl spaces. And so I come to the office and one of our guys, he was hiding, one of these people, we won't mention any names, but one of these people kind of was hiding up in the crawl space, and I come into the office and all of a sudden I see the little door up in the crawl space that leads to the lobby open up, and out came water bottles, I think, if I remember right, and I don't know if he was spraying water, I can't remember, but it was like messy kind of, and then the door would close again. I'm like, what the heck was that? Next thing you know, like a phone book comes flying down. I was like, what is going on? I also fondly remember that I was able, back then I was smoking cigarettes still, maybe a pack a day or so. I remember many nights where I was sitting there and John graciously enough let me smoke at my desk, which today is unheard of. But I was sitting there listening to Rock 1015, classic rock, and smoking my cigarettes and coding away. I started working on Double Dragon, but quickly we needed more work on two other games. The two other games I will go over in more detail on probably in the next show. But for this show, it was mainly Double Dragon, but at the same time I was also working on Raiden for the Atari Lynx, and I was working on Kawasaki Caribbean Challenge for the Super Nintendo. You may have never heard of the game because, yeah, it was not so good. But that got me the entry in programming the Super Nintendo, and I had a lot of fun working on that and learning the Super Nintendo system. So Double Dragon was finally finished. The publisher was Telegames at the time, and unfortunately Telegames did not give any credits anywhere in the game other than Telegames. So my name unfortunately is not in the game, but I have this little brochure which kind of gives an overview of the Telegames games that we programmed. Double Dragon, Kicks, and Guardians, Storm Over Doria. Unfortunately, Guardians, Storm Over Doria never saw the light of day, but I feel that it was John's passion, and this would eventually become EverQuest. That's just my gut feeling. It'd be funny if John left a comment and let me know if that was correct or not. I think that pretty much covers my first entry into my video game career, which was Double Dragon for the Atari Lynx. In next week's episode, I will cover Raiden, going back to Park Place Productions. I'll give an overview of Park Place Productions, and I will talk about Kawasaki Caribbean Challenge, my very first Super Nintendo game. I hope you had fun. Like, subscribe, leave comments, what have you, and I hope to see you all next week. Have a good one.